His Excellency DG CIRDAP, today's resource person Dr. Sushant, and all my colleagues. Welcome to this training program on AI applications in workplace. We are pleased to have Dr. Sushant, the CEO and founding director of the Center for Artificial Intelligence and Environmental Sustainability Foundation, which is located in Patna, Bihar, India, as our resource person for today's in-house online training program. The goal of the program is to provide our team with the skills to apply AI tools in daily work tasks to increase our productivity and improve decision making by leveraging AI tools. So I just briefly introduce about our speaker. Dr. Sushant is a distinguished scholar in the field of AI and sustainable environmental development. And he has devoted his career to discovering innovative solutions for a sustainable future through the application of AI tools in environmental science. With more than 20 years of experience, Dr. Sushant has been actively engaged in the domain of AI and sustainable development in the last few years. His expertise has earned him international recognition along with numerous prestigious awards and scholarships from various national and international institutions. Dr. Sushant also delivered invited talks and keynote addresses on AI and sustainability at various forums worldwide. He has authored 4 books, 1 edited volume, and has published 40 peer-reviewed journal articles in international journals. With this brief introduction about the program and the guest speaker, now I request all the participants to introduce themselves first before going for opening remarks by our Honorable DG, sir. I start with myself. I'm Dr. Venkat Mallu, working as Program Officer Learning in CIRDAP.
Hello, good morning. My name is Hurain Jannat. I'm working as a Communication Officer since December 2019. Welcome, Dr. Sushant sir.
Good morning. I'm Shishi Shah. I'm working as Finance Officer 2016. Thank you.
Hello, good morning and namaste. I'm Babu Kaji Thapa and I work as a Program Officer Research at CIRDAP. Thank you.
Hello, good morning. My name is Ganga. I'm Director Research here in the CIRDAP. Thank you.
This is FAM Zakirul Haq from Admin Division here. I'm working CIRDAP since 2018. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Dr. Usharani Borua. I'm working here as a librarian. Thank you.
Good morning. This is Tahsina Tabassum Khetrati, working in Research Division as the Executive Research Assistant. Thank you.
Good morning and namaste. My name is Deba Dr. Chakma. I am working as PS2DG, CIRDAP.
Good morning. This is Arif Azam, working as an IT expert. Thank you.
Good morning. This is Nazma Yasmin. I am working here as Assistant Administrative Officer ASR. Thank you.
Good morning. I am Habib Rahman, working as an Executive Officer Finance in CIRDAP. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Shahriar Haq. I am working here as an Executive Officer under CICC.
Now I request our Honorable Director General, sir, Dr. P. Chandrasekhar, sir, to give his opening remarks about the program and our expectations from the program.
Thank you, Dr. Venkat. Thank you for organizing, this wonderful, long-awaited session on artificial intelligence. It is our privilege to have Honorable Speaker, Dr. Sushant Singh, today among us. Dr. Sushant, thank you for your valuable time and your willingness to share your experience and expertise on artificial intelligence in role development and on day-to-day, office work. I'll just give you the context how this issue emerged in-house in CIRDAP. Center on Integrated Role Development in Asia and Pacific. It is a 46 years old organization working for strengthening role development systems in Asia and Pacific. You know, there are 55 countries in Asia and Pacific. Of course, at present, there are 15 member countries, but we would like to reach all 55, member countries. That itself gives a enormous scope for artificial intelligence to work, because we have natural intelligence access to 15 countries. But beyond our natural intelligence access, there is, the tool of artificial intelligence, so that we can have access to other 40 countries also. This is one great opportunity we are looking for. Second one, we are not working in one discipline. Rural development is virtually covers everything under the sun. You take about, agriculture, you take about infrastructure, education, innovation, skill development, health, gender, youth, and water, air, sustainable development, climate change. Dr. Sushant, many more things are there, which are covered by rural development. And if you develop expertise is one, that is not sufficient, because the process of development is interconnected. And we are also talking about sustainable development. They have, subsystems within the system which are very closely connected. By studying a discipline, we can't master a discipline, because the success of the discipline depends on many sub-disciplines also. So the relationship between very difficult relationship between many factors operating in rural development makes the job of rural development professionals very difficult. And that is where the artificial intelligence can help us. Suppose if we bring in education to a village, how we can bring, the health, happiness, economic prosperity, education, agriculture development into that. Few things we can see, many things are unseen, which can be seen through artificial intelligence. This is another area where we are looking for. And we have, physical access, limited digital access to resources on rural development in our member countries. But that is within member countries. But beyond member countries, beyond our 15 countries or 55 countries, around 200 countries are there across the world. They do have the discipline of rural development. They have success stories, failure stories. We want to learn something from them and also share something from us. Maybe artificial intelligence gives greater access to all these knowledge exchange process. But through this interaction, we would like to focus on how the professional competency can be increased for the people in CIRDAP when we are handling with these activities, when we are dealing with these challenges. You have seen we have not only technical professionals, some people are doing research, some people are conducting training program, somebody is from finance, somebody is from administration, somebody is from IT, and somebody is from library and communication, and we all have to work together for rural development. Now in day-to-day work, we need to prepare the reports, we need to design a good letter, we need to extract a summary out of a book, and we need to design good videos, we need to edit films, articles. This day-to-day work, how AI can influence us, that is the focus. Thank you very much. Much more we would like to learn from you, but this is what our expectation is.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving a brief about our expectations from this training program. Now I request our honorable speaker to make his presentation. Dr. Sushant Singh, sir, the floor is now yours.
Thank you very much. And first of all, good morning and namaste. Thank you very much, Dr. Venkat. Thank you very much, Honorable Dr. P. Chandra Shekharji, and the entire CIRDAP family for having me here. When I got this invitation, I was very happy that at least CIRDAP is actually started thinking in this direction, as DG sir has already explained. why this is required. And when I started preparing, then I was very careful because say we, as you all know, like we all come from different background. We have different roles and responsibilities. So we not necessarily maybe on the same understanding of AI, like what it is and how we are using and all those kind of things. So let me share my screen and then
Dr. Sushant, I have a request.
Sure.
Maybe I can request my colleagues to note down if they have any queries. So let your uninterrupted presentation complete. Afterwards, we can open it for discussion. That is part of our agenda also.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, whatever we can cover today or even later, definitely like all questions will be answered. So yeah, please feel free to keep noting your questions, and whenever we have the opportunity, we will talk about them. I hope you are able to see my screen.
Yes. We put it in
make it on a PowerPoint mode.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so as I was mentioning that I was very careful when designing this presentation, and what I did, I actually split my talk into several sections so that first we can start from what artificial intelligence and generative AI is, because most of the asks that DG sir has mentioned during the opening remarks, that covers the generative AI portion of it, like summarization and editing and all those kind of things. But definitely that is part of a bigger umbrella that we call artificial intelligence. Then before we jump into anything, like there are several things that we use unknowingly. So we will also see like how AI applications actually are part of our integral life, like on a day-to-day basis. Then the most important part that we all are here, that how AI can help in our office work and enhance the productivity and efficiency. Once we go through that one, the most important question is like, what is the right tool for us? Because if you start exploring, you'll find like there are several AI tools available, whether it's open access, whether it's a paid version, and all, it will be very difficult for all of us to find like which one is the best tool for us. So I did some research, and based on my experience, I have some recommendations. And then for our exercise, I have created a custom GPT for CIRDAP. So we will do a little bit, maybe a minute or so. You will explore like how quickly generative AI actually will help us. And then the last point would be, what would be the next steps? We talk about AI, Gen AI, and everything. Then what would be the next step that will enable us to be more efficient and proficient in our daily work? So briefly, not getting into the technical part, but I will say artificial intelligence is not something that we are talking. Definitely, we have been talking about AI for a long time, but it's not like it just came right now. When I joined my first job in the US, I was the first data scientist in 2015. And at that time also, we used to talk a lot about artificial intelligence and how this can help in solve different kind of business problems and all. If you see here, like the beginning of AI started like long ago, and it took several years, decades and all, to reach to in the current situation where we're still talking about and thinking that how we can adopt AI in our daily life, whether it's for business, whether it's for our convenience, and so on. When we say artificial intelligence, what exactly it means? So when I used to teach back in India long ago after my master's, my hypothesis used to be, my theory used to be like you just split the world and you'll get to know what exactly it wants to tell you. So here we have artificial and intelligence. So intelligence that can be artificially injected into a machine and try to mimic it, behave like a human. So any software or any tool that has human intelligence, which was artificially infused to it, that becomes artificial intelligence. And behind it, there are so many things. Then you see here machine learning, then you see deep learning. One thing you will see consistent is the learning part. So when machine learns anything based on any historical data that is available, for example, CIRDAP has 46 years of experience, right? And then CIRDAP has been working in rural development and other priority areas. Now, if you have consistent data for 46 years, and then you want to analyze whether the strategy that CIRDAP has followed for the last 46 years was useful, effective, or not, then based on that data, a machine can be trained and it will give you the answer that whether it was successful, whether there is a need of any modification, any changes required in the strategy and all. So in a layman language, when we train a machine, when we say machine, we talk about computer, for example. Now, even the mobile phone, tablet, everything, it is like AI enabled. We'll see like how they have enabled all the machines that we use on a daily basis. So in machine learning, you use a very structured kind of a data. For example, we conduct a survey, right? Like we are doing any rural development project and we conduct a survey. We collected the data, what is the socioeconomic background of the population, what kind of agricultural practices they have been doing, whether they have land or not, or they are exposed to any kind of environmental conditions and all. So we collect that data in a structured format, then use that data to train machine, and then we have different methods. And I'm pretty sure that most of you are aware of statistics. So it's not like machine learning is totally different than that, but we use several techniques and methods coming from statistics, coming out of social science research methods, coming out of physics, coming out of mathematics, all different domains. And then we use that method to train the data and for the purpose of what we want to actually predict or want to know or want to forecast. Then we talk about deep learning. The deep, that itself says like it's more than normal. And when we say more than normal, we are not sure how much human brain is being used. Human brain has tremendous potential to analyze the data in a multi-dimensional space, multiple iteration, but then not everybody has the same capability to analyze the data. So a method was developed mimicking the human brain, the neurons, so that the way neurons can work on large amount of data, and then it should be able to give us the result that we are looking for. So the moment we say large amount of data, that means that when we fail to analyze large amount of data quickly, then that is a need of deep learning. So for deep learning, you really need all humongous data that you have that you cannot handle with a simple method called machine learning and all. And whether it's coming from text data, whether it's coming from image data, as DG sir had mentioned, that there is a need of video editing, report preparation, maybe image processing and all. So all kind of data that is not traditionally captured through a survey, but maybe an outcome of day-to-day activities like the PDF files, the scanned documents, the reports, or anything like we chat. We don't chat, our chats are not structured like whatever we get from anybody, we try to respond spontaneously. So all those data can be handled by deep learning. Since it's not structured, that's why we call them unstructured data. And since it was not captured into a supervised manner, like nobody was supervising to capture our chats, nobody was supervising, like when we go to the field for any rural development related projects and all, we click random pictures, we take video clips, small video clips that may not be previously designed, only like in a high level, okay, you go collect some data, you go take some pictures, but only the photographer knows, only the person knows who is taking the picture or the video, that why they are taking, but it was not pre-decided. So we randomly click several pictures, we randomly click several videos, and then we randomly collect some other information that was not pre-planned. So that becomes our unstructured data, and we call unsupervised data. So if you see the right-hand side, there is called unsupervised learning, there is called supervised learning. So when the data was collected based on a survey, we know what outcome we are looking for. So say, for example, we introduced, in one of my publications, I predicted sustainable arsenic mitigation technologies. So if we want to predict, like, is some of the rural development related policies, what will be the adoption by the community? So whether they will adopt or they will not adopt. Then in that case, we conducted a survey, we collected the data asking whether they will adopt or not. And then they have associated information, their name, their gender, their age, their income, their demographic details, and other details, education and all. That goes to supervised learning. And while doing that, when we collected some photographs, when we collected some interviews, when we collected some video clippings, right? That was just randomly collected. So that will go under unsupervised learning. Since the data was collected differently and the type of the data, the nature of the data is different, obviously we follow different methods. So if you see here, there are multiple methods. I'm not going into that detail because that will be more technical part of it. If later needed, then definitely I can focus on each section and I can explain you with some examples. And similarly for unsupervised, we have several methods. It's not one or two, like hundreds of algorithms are available, methods are available that you can use to analyze your data, to develop your prediction models and all those kind of stuff. One thing I want to highlight here, and please do not consider this is the entire world of AI. This is most of them. There you will see little more. Reinforcement learning. So now we are all aware about Tesla car. It's like driverless car. Similarly, there are so many vehicles coming or so many instruments coming that can decide by themselves. For example, they learn by themselves and then act accordingly. So how that happens? Reinforcement learning. Reinforcement means that it is being ensured that you have to learn from your act, whatever happened in the past. I am not going to teach you. So that's how this method was used to develop that driverless car or any sensor that you see, like, okay, you are parking your car and then you have the sensor in the car and the sensor will start blinking that, okay, you are about to touch any some particular object or something like that, right? How that will become more intelligent. So this reinforcement learning is designed in a way that when you do a mistake, for example, the sensor was not able to detect that there is a car close to the vehicle and hit the car. So since that was a mistake, so the model will punish the agent that, hey, you didn't do the right thing, right? You hit the car, you were not supposed to hit the car. And when the model, the agent, will identify the neighboring car that, okay, it is going to hit me, and then somehow is managed to change the lane and all, that means it did a good job, then it gets rewarded. They call reward and punishment. So that way it keeps learning and becomes like a better version of, you can say, a model or a technology. So these are some of the, I would say, in a high level, that these technologies or methods, frameworks are available. Whenever you see any AI tool, you will find either most of them or some of them behind developing that kind of a machine. Now, if you see at the bottom, the journey of Gen AI, when we say Gen AI, it's called generative AI, artificial intelligence. That means a type of artificial intelligence that generates new stuff, and that stuff could be text, that stuff could be image, that stuff could be new video, that stuff could be new code that can be used for analyzing any kind of data. That is also not new, but we have been talking about generative AI for the last 2 years. It seems like it just started a couple of years back. But if you see 1962, this kind of system already existed, and gradually it starts getting adapted in the industry. Maybe somebody has realized that this has more power, or maybe some data influence it. But if you go into the architecture of Gen AI, you will find that somewhere it may be using deep learning. Somewhere it may be using natural language processing. I'll talk about that in a minute and so. So it has a long journey. The technology doesn't come just right away, but it has a long journey. So if we have a good foundation, and if we know what that technology is doing, then it's very easy for us to adopt it for our purposes. Now we will see that how artificial has become an integral part of our life. Please focus on the bottom part. Like when we talk about AI, the biggest question comes whether AI is going to take out my job or not, right? The worldwide discussion is there. Everybody may have different opinion based on their experience, their vision, their understanding and all. But in your case, like if you see here, it won't replace your insights on rural development. Rural development and associated, you can say, domains. It's very unique. AI was not designed for all the domains. AI was designed for a specific task. Now, without having a domain knowledge, AI will not be able to do a good job. So if you are intelligent, if you have good understanding of the work that you are doing, not the technology, and then you are learning technology, nobody is going to replace you. But if somebody only knows about how to develop AI tool, and that person, individual entity may not have the good understanding of the domain, that there is a likelihood that that entity will be impacted. So whenever it comes to a domain part of it, domain becomes critical because domain drives the robust solution development. And Gen AI is purely based on that. Gen AI is inaccurate if it doesn't have the context, in what context it's actually trying to build. And generative AI solution was built on all publicly available data. So it is a framework, right? But whether it understands the rural development, whether it understands the water scarcity, whether it understands the other environmental challenges, climate change, sustainable development, may not. So we have to custom that method to our need and then start using. We cannot directly go, it can do certain things, but it cannot do the things that we are actually expecting. So now, see, I mentioned about machine learning. I mentioned about deep learning. I mentioned about reinforcement learning. And briefly, I talked about natural language processing. What we are expecting, we should be talking to someone, a robot or a chat bot, something like that. And that robot should understand my language. That's my natural language. I may be speaking in Bangla, I may be speaking in Nepali, I may be speaking in Hindi or in English or in any language, right? But my expectation is the robot should understand my language, which is my natural language. And then after understanding my language, then it processes my request and then gives back the answer that I'm expecting. That is the world of natural language processing, and that is a key pillar of generative AI. That is the most important tool in our office related work that we will see, because we want to write an email, right? Email is like what? Like I'm addressing someone. We want to summarize. So there is a document. So a tool should understand the entire document, the language, the tone, and everything, and then only it should be able to provide the output that we are expecting. And these are all combined. When we combine them, it becomes AI tool, which is an umbrella, you can say it. So that's why I mentioned, so that you have some level of awareness, and sooner or later, maybe you will end up using agentic AI, some agents in your daily. Now, what these technologies gives us as AI product, we all have been using Gmail or Outlook, right? If you see, we keep getting multiple emails, and some of the emails are spam. Spam means is for fraud. It's not like a normal email that we would expect. So whether we are talking about email spam, credit card fraud detection, or any kind of all these things based on machine learning. Similarly, we use, say you have phone, and then whether you are using fingerprint or whether you are using any face unlock, even your laptop can be locked and locked using your face recognition or your biometric or maybe voice. And then when we post your pictures and everything, whether it's on any social media platform, you tag them. So many things. Most of these things are product of deep learning. Now, reinforcement learning. So you use Google Maps. Now we cannot move here to there. Like I remember long ago in India, there was no need of any map. But now you are dependent on map to travel from one place to other place. Why? The place is the same, the land is the same, but the transportation, the way of transportation has changed. Now the route is different. You may not know, like the route that you used to take 5 years ago is the same now. So you have to depend on maps. And that comes from reinforcement learning, because it keeps adapting and keeps getting like better and better and all. And there are some other examples. So these are some of the examples. If you see, it's like a daily life we end up using. Google Translate. Sometimes you end up meeting people, like there are multiple countries, you all work together. Not necessarily everybody would know everybody's language. So sometimes we use Google Translate to communicate, right? And that is based on NLP. WhatsApp you can use whether you English, whether you use your own language or something else. Then you have in your house like Siri and Alexa that receives your command in your language, natural language, and does the work, like Alexa, play any music or play this movie or play this news channel and all. So all these things, I'm pretty sure that some of the things you must have been using for a long time, maybe knowingly, unknowingly, that this is AI product. Now, I already talked about the face unlock and all. Google Lens has, it gives you like a better version. So computer vision, self-driving car, security camera, all these things. Now you have drones. In drones, there is like a high resolution camera there that can capture all the activities. Now we don't even have to depend on the satellite images. Drone has more capability, more accurate data if you're using the right kind of a drone. And so on. So not good getting into everything, but if you see examples, right? The customer chat bot. Now, I'm not sure whether you have been using Grammarly. Grammarly has become like everybody's writing buddy for grammar check, for spelling, for recommending new sentences and all. So there are different AI products that we are using almost every day, knowingly, unknowingly. Now, just flip the situation. Like the previous one was more technology oriented. Now this is like more requirement oriented. What we need to do, what we are doing. We need help in communication and writing. We are actually looking for smartphones and personal assistants. We do web search. We need help in travel and navigation. We need help in shopping and services and work and productivity and security and all. Now, what are the products that we use for all these purposes? Most of them will be familiar. So it's just the other way of presenting the same information. It gives you both the flavor, like one was more technology driven, this was more action driven, what activity we do and which tool, which AI products actually help us. Now, the core part of our discussion. So far, what I wanted to convey, just more or less like awareness, what AI is, what are the different, you can say, important frameworks, methodology that AI uses, for example, machine learning, deep learning, reinforcement learning, natural language processes, then whether we have been already using AI in our day-to-day life or not. We don't even know, but we learned that several tools, technologies that we use on a daily basis is AI product. Now, the most important part is how AI is used in our daily office work. And for this one, what I try to do is like, I have categorized them like in the use case, we'll take as a use case, then how the use case addresses a certain problem statement, and how AI can solve that, what are the benefits, and what are the some of the real world example that we can imagine. So if you remember, DG sir has mentioned at the beginning, right? We need help in drafting and editing for communication and all. So I will just give you, because anyways this will be recorded, and if needed I can share the presentation also. If you see, like, our need is on a daily basis that for communication we have to do multiple writing, drafting, right, and then editing. Maybe if we are following any peer review process, it goes from person A to B and all. It takes too much of time. And only drafting a small report or emails or anything, we not necessarily need to spend a lot of time. Why? Because it is important, but it is not important that just to draft an email or a report, we spend like hours and hours. So that becomes our problem statement. That introduces inconsistency. And then also, it's not something that you always want to do unless and until you really like to keep writing emails and drafting and working. But that is not the best use of our capability as a human being. So this is one area where AI can help. How that will benefit us? In the quick first draft, in a minute, in a second, you can have what you are thinking. You just provide your requirement and it will give you a first draft ready. Then if you want to change the tone, you want to correct the grammar, you are sensible about cultural alignment, all those things can be covered into that. But one person, if they try to do all of these things, it becomes time consuming and we may end up doing some mistakes also. So that's how, and this is like one example that I cited, like AI drafts an email update on Myanmar projects, edits it for brevity, and attaches relevant files automatically. So you can simply ask like, okay, give me a draft on ABC and provide the relevant attachment. You already have your data available in your environment, your drive or somewhere, maybe SharePoint or on a Teams channel, and then it will automatically attach to your email. You just simply review, and then if there is any editing required, you edit and then you send it. Then extracting key points from documents. Like when I was reviewing all the reports, some of the reports are smaller, some of the reports are big. Maybe there will be some internal reports or policy documents that may not be available in the public domain. You don't have time to read 200 pages and then you understand and then you get the key points. I mean, I'm not trying to say that we are not capable of doing, but the technology was designed and developed to help us, but not to depend on them 100%. Of course, you are the person who will be reviewing everything, but then you can get help from technology that, okay, this is 200-page document. Can you just give me key points? Can you just summarize it so that I can understand quickly? It's basically abstract, like of any published paper, you have abstract or technical summary or any executive summary. It can give you that summary and you will have some idea about. And then if you want to go into deep dive, then you can go to the specific sections. Then this becomes the most boring part in meetings. I'm not sure who enjoys taking meeting minutes, but if there is a person, I really respect that individual. But this is very critical because if you are part of a meeting and you are also taking notes, it will be very difficult for you to focus on the important points and then contribute. You will become just a person who is only taking notes, like who said what. But there is a technology now that you can be more productive without thinking anything that I have to note down. You discuss, use your full brain and attention and address all the open questions on the floor. And the technology will help you finally to get the meeting summary. And then you review, even it will assign the person, say if there is a meeting happening and a communication officer assigns something to Mr. A, Mr. B, or Miss C, then it will give you this particular task was assigned to this person, this individual. So you don't have to spend a lot of time on that. And then you can simply follow up. Everybody can review and approve that, oh, this is exactly what we, because most of the time during the meetings, especially I have seen in the industry, that very few people remember that what was discussed. The meeting is done and that the chapter is closed. It will be very difficult for everybody to summarize and follow up. So this is very helpful in that particular scenario. Then presentation was discussed multiple times, and then this is like critical. Now, wherever even I am using a PowerPoint presentation for this important discussion here, right? PowerPoint is a very, it's a high skill thing that not everybody knows. This is an area where marketing team, like they are specialized people who know how to design PowerPoint and then how to present data in a better way, right? Not everybody would know, or there is no need that everybody should know everything, but we still need it because this is a very good tool for us when we try to communicate our knowledge, our experience, everything in a presentable way and in less words. So AI can also help us in presentation creation. Whatever, if you have any rough draft in Word file or wherever, you can use it, and then it will at least give you the first draft. And then on top of it, then you can start building it. Like if you wanna edit something, or if you think, okay, if AI has recommended a specific icon, then you just replace it with whatever you think is the best one. but at least it will give you a first draft. So you don't have to start from the scratch. With DG sir also mentioned about the images and videos editing and all. Now, I'm not sure how many of you know about deepfake. Deepfake is a technology that can exactly copy you A to Z, your face, the way you talk, your even your voice and accent, everything. And there has been multiple such videos circulated in social media that has created, I would say, havoc. Why? Because it's very difficult for a normal a layman or a human normal citizen to distinguish what is original, what is AI created. Now, if you will go to social media, you will find many images, several images and videos are AI generated, and you will not even be able to. Recently, one of my nephews, he created an image and he shared with me. I liked the image, but then I had some doubt. I said, I mean, everything is good, but the face doesn't match. Then he told me, Chachu, that this is AI created and the face only matches 90%. So it was so identical, just in a few minutes or maybe some time that you can create something. But it depends the tools, who is carrying the tool. Now, when we are carrying the tool, we are taking this responsibly and we are only using AI tool for images that will help us advance the rural development strategy, planning, management, help the marginalized people and all. So for that, we also need help from AI, and AI helps us in creating images, however, the way you want, editing videos and all. And then you can use for your presentation or for outreach or for campaign and everything. Then there are multiple other activities where AI can help us. For example, this meeting definitely Jannat ji has created, and she had to spend some time, right? And then she had to add all the invitees and then send it to them. Now AI can help you to schedule your meetings, automatically send the invite to whoever you want. Even the reminder, like 10 minutes prior to the meeting schedule, it can remind you. And then you can also automate this one, and then even the meeting will be automatically recorded, and then the transcription will be generated, and then it can also give you a summary like how the meeting happened, what was discussed, what was not. So there are multiple things that AI in our everyday office work can help. Now, the most important part, which tool, which technology will help us? Now let's talk about it. Again, in the same category, we talked about drafting, editing, all right. There are multiple tools example. I mentioned about Grammarly. Grammarly I have been using for a long time. It's very useful. And most of the technologies I have used, and that's why I have put it here. And some of them I have not used, but they are also very popular among users. If you see, there are multiple ways of multiple tools available. Grammarly, then Microsoft has its like Copilot. I'm not sure whether you all use Microsoft or whether you have been using Copilot or not. Then Gemini is a Google product that is also helpful. Like if you see these days if you write an email, it predicts the next word, right? Like before, and you have to either if you are using your cell phone, then you simply drag it, or if you are using your laptop or computer, then you just use a tab, then the predicted word will be automatically typed. So these are all the tools that helps us. Now, there are free tier available, and then you have paid version. It depends how much you use. what is the purpose. But for NGOs, for non-profit organization, they have a different tier. Like they provide like in a discounted way, or maybe sometimes free, or they have some like, I mean, it's not like a normal industry people like they have to pay the same amount, and the non-profit organization, they have to pay the same amount. No, they have different versions that we have to explore. But this is like approximate number that I have put it here, but we can validate. And when you plan to go with any paid tier, then there will be a different things that we need to consider. Similarly, extracting key points. There are so many things. Chat GPT is very famous. Now you have Grok, you have Cloud8 from another one, very good. You can see generative AI tool and so many things. But Chat GPT has become, it's like everybody's best friend in doing all kinds of extracting key points. You can upload your PDF file, or you can just copy and paste any long sentences or a report, and then it will give you summary and all, and other things. And we will do a little bit demo here, there. This is also multiple tiers, free tier and paid tier, depends on how much you are using and so on. So everything depends on how much using, who is using. There is a personal version, there is a non-profit version, there is a commercial version. So it depends on that. Now, meeting minutes I talked about, right? Even if you're using Teams, right? They have enabled Copilot in the Teams, and it will automatically give you. I think in Zoom also they have enabled. I don't use Zoom a lot, so I didn't use recently. But Teams I have been using for a long time, most of the meetings, so I know Copilot is enabled. But I think Zoom also has that capabilities. Now, presentation creation. Again, multiple, we have tools. And remember, each tool now, because this technology is not new anymore. So whatever new tools will come, that will be a better version of the previous technology, if somebody is really serious about developing a good tool. But we have to check, we have to see like how accurate information it's giving. Why I'm highlighting that part, because I mentioned at the beginning, tool is for assistance. We should not depend on them. What does it mean? That if you are getting a summary, there is a term called hallucination. That means it can give you false summary, like some of the points may not be accurate. So once we have an output, we have to also review carefully, validate, and then only share with wherever you want to share. We cannot simply go blind and then just get whatever output we have, and then we can rely on it. No, that's why we have to carefully, and each tool will have different level of accuracy. So we have to see like which one has the better accuracy, which one is the most robust tool and convenient for us to adopt easily, so that the entire team can start using. Because one person, if you're using, it's not going to work. We have to think about the entire team, depends on their background and all. The most important part is the tool is properly governed, like there is no risk of any data privacy issue and all, or maybe any hallucinated outcome, and it can give you really real like false information. So we have to be also very careful. And similarly for image video creation, you have multiple tools that can help, and so on for other activities. Now, as I mentioned, like there are multiple tools and technologies. So which one is the best suited for our everyday office work? So I was thinking two ways. First, can we have one solution that can help us doing everything, which is being like highly ambitious. But then other part I was also thinking like, can we have a hybrid scenario? But I was trying to be very cautious about that the setup that CIRDAP has, not necessarily we introduce multiple technologies, right? Then it will be very difficult to kind of like have that adaptation curve for those tools and technologies. But I have still presented here. So if you see what I found, like all the activities that we have been talking about, right? What are the tools we can consider if we are thinking in the hybrid approach? Hybrid approach, right? So if you see the first technology, the tool I have selected here is the Microsoft Copilot. The second one is CANVA, and the third one is DeepL. Now, all three tools can do all the tasks, but not necessarily at the same accuracy and with ease, and is the same level of user friendliness they have. So then I thought, okay, this is a hybrid scenario. I think Microsoft, most of us, we use on a daily basis, for example, Outlook, Word, Excel, PPT, everything. So then I reviewed, and since I have worked on this one, I thought that the Microsoft 365 ecosystem they have, we all use on a daily basis, right? The Teams for meetings, Outlook for emails, Word for all the documents, PowerPoint for all the PPT that we prepare, Excel to store data for sometimes analyzing the data, then sometimes creating a dashboard and something. SharePoint for all the documents where you wanna save and then act. Now, how Microsoft 365 ecosystem or Copilot will help us. And before I explain that one, that I wanted to give a little bit technical background. If you remember, we are talking about generative AI. So generative AI, they have the foundation model called large language model. Large language models. You split the word. Large, of course, it's based on billions and billions of data elements, different types of, coming from Wikipedia, coming from open sources, coming from all the open data available. So it has humongous amount of data. We call language models because this is based on the natural language, because that's how we interact with this tool. And then Microsoft has a Microsoft Graph, which is a center for knowledge. So it gets all the information, the data in properly organized so that it is useful and accessible through all the apps. The apps that I mentioned here, all these apps that we have been using for a long time. Now, a little bit more that what it can help us in what kind of functionality and all. So this has functionality, if you remember that if you are writing a proposal and you have deadline to meet, maybe for funding, maybe for a new project to start in, as Sir mentioned that CIRDAP wants to expand its horizon to 55 countries. So definitely, it's not like a telephonic call and we call the representative in that particular country. We may have some proposal, right? So the Microsoft 365 Copilot can also help in developing a proposal. The first draft, that may take maybe for some of us, maybe a few hours, maybe a day or so, but it can help us in proposal assistant. Then presentation assistant, like the PPT and all. Then Excel analytics. Remember, we may not be having a cloud environment. When I say cloud environment, that maybe you are not using AWS like the Amazon, maybe you're not using Microsoft's cloud, maybe you're not using Google Cloud, where you have all the data available and that you are using their technology for any kind of analytics and all. Maybe most of our data resides in Excel or CSV format. So within the Excel, it has the capability to perform all kinds of analytics, summarization. It will give you a quick summary of the data and quick train in the data and so on. Then it has Outlook email assistant that we all are aware, Teams we talked about, and then cross application assistant. So what it has the capability that it can access all the apps. So if you are looking for anything that is stored in your SharePoint, it still has access. You have OneDrive, it still has access. So when you are emailing and you want something to get summarized and attached to your email, you have access to your drive and it can access the data from that particular environment. So it can also do cross application function. Now, other than that, it, as I mentioned at the beginning, like these are critical piece that we need help with. So this Microsoft Copilot environment will help us in email and calendar management, document creation and editing, data analysis and reporting within the Excel. In Excel, if you have data and you are just like, say, for example, a report was submitted to DG sir and DG sir just want to have summary, like, okay, I just want to have an overall number of people benefited by this particular initiative in 7 countries and prioritize that based on the number of the beneficiaries. You just ask that question in Excel and it will give you that kind of analytical report. So it becomes more easier. I mean, leaders may not have to depend on analysts for everything. They can also do their like small need by themselves. So this data analytics and reporting capability within Excel, it gives like more and more advantage for everybody. Then presentation, collaboration enhancement, knowledge management. This is very important. I was very happy when one member introduced herself as a librarian, I believe. So having a library is critical, but then establishing inventory, managing it, and then updating it and making it accessible to everybody is another challenge. So Microsoft Copilot ecosystem, they also have that knowledge management thing. So that will help in managing all the records, the libraries, the books, the references, the reports, and other publications available in the environment. And then it will give you, if you remember, I was talking about agentic AI. So it will also give you capability to custom solutions. For example, tomorrow, if I have to create for the rest of the country, I'm targeting next year, my target is like, I will reach out to 10 countries, invite them to join us as a part of CIRDAP initiative. Then it requires a big strategic decision, so many things. But in your ecosystem, if you create an agent, that autonomous agent, and that agent is capable enough to do all these things, then you simply assign the task to the agent, and agent will give you everything created. So the work that we may envision that may take 30 days, it may be done in a few days, or maybe if it's properly done, maybe in a few hours. That is the benefit, and that will make us progressive, because anyways we have to use technology, anyways we have to cope up with new changes. So, and if we have that ecosystem that we are already using, in the future we will be capable of designing any custom solutions that is required, that we may not be thinking at this moment, but in the future that may be required. Now, once everything is done, what I was trying to do, I created a custom GPT for all of you. And let me share. I'm not sure whether you can access or not, but let's try. I'm sharing the link, and then see if you can access. Then I will take you to the link. Please confirm if you can access.
Yes, so it's accessible.
Okay, great. So, okay, let me. So you may be seeing something like this, right?
It is asking for sign up.
Oh, asking for sign up?
Yeah.
Oh,
But
so maybe,
I'm seeing CAIES _ CIRDAP 5. I mean by
okay, good. Do you
Directly.
mind sharing your
We
screen?
need to sign up. We need to sign up.
No, that's fine. One person is able to access. So maybe, do you mind sharing your screen?
No, yes, okay, I'm sharing, sir. Okay.
Yeah.
This is right.
Yes, great. So see, so this custom GPT is designed for only for CIRDAP member, and this is private. So other people, they don't have access, only the people who has the link. So this GPT was designed based on most of the reports that you already published on the website. Now, if you see at the top, there are some indicative messages. What we call them is prompt. So this is a tool. This is what we call a generative AI tool. So the way we have Chat GPT, so this is another GPT that is created only for CIRDAP for this demo purpose. Now, if you see, these are some of the examples, but you can also type your question. So for example, you can click, Jannaji, you can click anyone, list all CIRDAP member countries. Yeah, click anyone. See, now it's searching my knowledge. So it was provided. Yeah, here is the list of CIRDAP members. You see. Yeah, please scroll down. 15. Yes. Right, we have 15 members.
Yes.
Okay, now since it gave you now this information, maybe everybody will remember. This is just a basic exercise for you to have that feeling that how easy some of the tasks could be if we have this kind of a tool accessible and available to all of us. Now, whatever the details it has provided, you have to just review and validate this is correct. So you have Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Fiji, and India, and all, right? Now, if you go at the bottom, it has also provided you the notes. Some countries did not have clear focal ministry listings in the annual report 2024 or earlier documents. So the tool has reviewed all the documents, and this was the note from the tool. I am not sure whether that is correct or not. You have to review that whatever the tool is saying, the GPT is saying is correct or not. And historically, each member operates through a contact ministry and a link institution. Now you type anything related to CIRDAP. Ask any question.
Okay.
Any question that you find important. Very good question. Yeah. See, now it's searching the web. If you see at the top,
website.
Let's see.
Okay, gold and
yellow.
So what is
it
this
correct?
hex? Yeah, it's correct. What is this hex code?
Yeah, hex code is basically whenever we select a color, right? It has a digital coding.
Okay.
So anybody who is creating it and replicating, they can use that hex code to have the same color.
Okay, understood.
So I think you already had an account. That's why maybe you were able to access it. And whoever you don't have account, it's free. You can simply sign in, and then you should be able to use that link. But you explore it, and then ask one more question, and then we will conclude.
Anybody else?
Yeah, any
Jannat ma'am.
Yes.
Which country is more active in among the CIRDAP?
Which country
is more active?
Is okay. Active
among the CIRDAP countries, among the CIRDAP member countries. Let's see.
In terms of what?
Question.
In terms of what?
In terms of activities, programs.
With CIRDAP.
That type of precise answer may not be available, because if it is rating somewhere in the documents, then only it comes in, I guess.
We can write like in terms of programs, activities.
Okay.
Let's see how deep it can go. Okay.
Let's see who is the winner.
India, Malaysia, and Bangladesh. 3 are winner.
Look, India, Bangladesh, and
Malaysia. Host country and India and Malaysia.
See, it gives you.
This is only for this is only for trial here, but not to share in our communications.
Sir, they have indicated annual report 2024 and 40 years of CIRDAP. Based on these 2 documents, they have answered the question actually.
No, that is fine, but it is only for learning purpose.
Learning purpose, right, sir?
Yeah. So if you add all your reports and reference documents, it will give you exactly. And it will give you also the reference from where it's citing. So as at the top you see, right, 2 documents.
Yes, 2 documents.
It's using.
Yes.
So if you have more document and it's giving you based on what, like in India, in Malaysia, in Bangladesh, based on what, it's actually giving you the other countries like Sri Lanka and Myanmar also. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was only for the, I would say, just for to make you feel comfortable that this is very user-friendly tool, and the more you interact intellectually, the better it will become. The only thing is that we have to be careful that we don't use the open version for official use, because if you are uploading anything, any information, any data, then it will go to the internet. So the governance part is important here. Now, I think we are almost at the time. So thank you very much for the demo. Let me go back to the screen, and then we'll conclude our. I hope you can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now finally, what is the next steps that we should be thinking of? And this is totally my understanding, but you take your time and then think like which direction you want to go. And I have prioritized some of the things for CIRDAP and some of the things for my foundation, like how I can help and how what CIRDAP wants to do. But you prioritize, and accordingly we can think of. For example, like you just prioritize some of the use cases that you want to start actually focusing more on that. For example, like summarization is something critical that you want to start with, right? or maybe event reporting where image editing, video editing, or something like that will be required. And then once the use cases are identified, then you can have like a pilot team with whom we can do that small pilot and then see whether it's working, not working, how that can be improvised, and then that can be extended to the rest of the team. And preparing knowledge pack, for example, like the question was asked right now at the end, right? We need reference data. So if we are talking about anything, because our model is not based on, not developed on our data, I mean your data, then it will not give you the correct answer. It will only give you some relevant information. But if we provide the relevant information, it will give you more accurate information. And the most important part that I would highlight, the governance part of it. Before start using any AI tool for any office purposes, we should know how safe that tool is, whether I'm losing any privacy, any data related while using the tool, and how we can govern internally. So that AI governance principles for CIRDAP can and should be also established, like what guardrails we should be following and all those things. And then if there is any cost, for example, I recommended like one tool, Microsoft 365 Copilot can be the best option for helping in all the scenarios. But you can still use the non-paid version. And then for at least developing the adoption culture. For example, I don't want to buy directly something that we have to learn and then start using. It's better if I have something available free of cost or in less cost, we will start using it. And when we feel that this is helpful and this is actually easy to adopt by all the team members, then we can think of some budget like, okay, we can have like a Copilot license and all. And for that, I think Microsoft has a separate, as I also mentioned at the beginning, like they have a, I think, a subsidized rate for a non-profit organization and all. And then how we can help, like the foundation can help. The most important part is the first part we already covered, right? The small demo that we did for CIRDAP, the custom GPT. Then if you are planning for, say, for example, summarization or any other use cases, what kind of data will be required? That way there we can help. Then training and workshops for those specialized activities or some of the basic concepts. If your team really wants to understand a little bit more about the technology and then how the technology can be easily used, those things we can help. If there is a need, if you are buying anything from Microsoft, they will help you in technical setup. But also, if there is any say hand-holding required for using and then working on specific use cases, then we can also support. On the governance part, definitely we can support in establishing the governance framework that will be required and also aligned with the global policies and all, including the country's policies, like how AI systems should be used and governed. And finally, if there is any monitoring and evaluation will be required for, so that at the end of the year or like financial year or whatever date you set, whether we gain something out of it or not, or we just like end up spending some money on technology and we didn't get any productive improvement. So those things we can also help with. Now with this one, thank you very much, and I'll be very happy to answer any questions you have now or maybe later.
Thank you, Dr. Sushant. Thank you for it's a wonderful presentation, and you have given so many insights how to use these tools. I think now it's open for discussion. We can take questions from our participants. Maybe I will start with my question. You have mentioned that we should not use open versions in even Chat GPT, Microsoft Copilot, whatever it is, whatever the tools. And most of them, what I observed that these tools ask for signing up with official email. So as you said, using such versions and giving our official email IDs. So will there be any threats, security threats? Because we are dealing with confidential matters also sometimes in our emails. So whether that will be a threat, whether that is a threat. If not, whether you will suggest go for creating one other account and using it for such type of tools. Which one is best one? I think you can just help us in that.
Yeah, no, this is a very important question, and that's why I emphasize the governance part of it. So say, for example, we are using Chat GPT. Anybody can use Chat GPT. You have to just go create your account using your Gmail or any email ID that you have. The challenge is if you are using Chat GPT for just for ideation, right? You're not using anything that belongs to your organization, just for ideation. Say, hey, we are just, you simply say that we are going to organize this kind of a program. These are our focus areas, right? Without taking the name. Can you suggest some of the steps that will help us implement this program? So you are not exposing any official information to ChatGPT. So in that case, for ideation or for any discussion, or you can say if you want to organize some information in a different way, it's fine. But the moment you start sharing your official information, then it will end up going to the exposing to the internet. So in that case, how we can use safely? Not necessarily we have to spend a lot of money, but then somehow, if we are really care for data privacy, security, or any kind of a threat, because of course it's a big organization and then multiple countries are involved, then that Chat GPT environment should be enabling your environment, in CIRDAP's environment. If that CIRDAP's environment is enabled, then there will not be any threat. And for that, I think their team will definitely help. So not necessarily you have to spend a lot, but you can still use. But open version is always for ideation, discussion, getting idea, bouncing back your ideas, or getting some new ideas. But for organization, I would always prefer that it should be within your ecosystem. You should be accessing anything within your ecosystem. That way it will be safe and secure and will not have any kind of a security threat. And I think they are very helpful in this way, and especially because CSR is there, one of the biggest components in all the big companies, right? They try to enable most of the international, national level of non-profit organization. So I don't think that will be a big amount, but we can verify that one.
Thank you.
Sure.
Dr. Sushant, just yesterday, this incident happened with AI. I asked a AI assistant by giving a reference code, what is the status of this particular issue? Then AI assistant came back. I'm sorry, this is highly personalized information, and I may not be, in a position to help you. So AI is very cautious about data privacy.
Yeah.
So if you ask, a personal question on other people, no, this is about myself.
Yes,
but it was very sensitive about data.
Yeah.
The moment it saw some number, reference code, it started, telling that, I am not going to deal with this. So, yeah, this is, there is some inbuilt mechanism, fortunately, to protect every individual data privacy. Yeah, I just shared what happened yesterday. Yeah,
No,
thank you.
you are right, and that's why I said, like, the way every day we are evolving, right? So technology has evolved. I think a year ago, maybe couple of years ago, using this technology, many people have kind of like able to get the personal information. So since initially it was just like, you can say, a beta version, all those guardrails and everything was not inbuilt. Now all the tools you will see, Gemini was not that good, but now it has improved a lot. Similarly, like other tools, it will give you, and it will also restrict yourself if you are asking any question that will be against any culture or something. It will also warn you that the question is going in that direction. You really want me to respond to that? So it's like more conscious than we. And sometimes unknowingly we provide some detail, like as you mentioned your example, right? So it's becoming better and better. But for any organization, it's better to have access within the organization. Yeah.
I wanted to ask about two areas. Like one, in multiple times you mentioned about the cultural sensitivity.
Yeah.
So like it's a very there's no certain structure about the cultural sensitivity as we understand. It's like a human understanding or a particular nation's understanding.
Yeah.
So when like for an example, if in writings, if we use AI and then he provided some sort of sentences or words. I'm talking about very nitty gritty. So how I can ask AI that, okay, is like you should write or you should give me this idea based on that country or that group sensitivity. Is that correct? Is my understanding correct? Or it's like
No, you're right.
he searched the entire world and he will make the list. Okay, this you cannot do, or this you can do. About this.
Very good question. Yeah, very good question. So what you said we call prompt, and there is a term called prompt
engineering, right?
Prompt engineering. Yes, you know that. So that's why before start using any tool, we should know like how to use the tool, and if we use the tool, what outcome we are going to get out of it. So if you are, and I consider, if you are a normal human being, you may not want to hurt anyone, right?
Yeah.
Simple. I mean, these things are not, we don't need any kind of teaching unless and until we are taught from the very beginning that, okay, you are supposed to hurt someone, right? So it's a normal human being. So the same way you write the prompt that we are going to meet people or delegates in this country. Please review the cultural and whatever background they have, and provide anything that we should be careful.
Just about, okay.
Right. Sometimes some words for us would be different.
Yeah.
Like at home, we may be having conversation in a different way, but we cannot have the same kind of conversation in a international forum when people are coming from different countries and different backgrounds and all. So you provide that instruction that you have to be careful on these things, that no word should be offensive, right? And definitely there are like multiple versions of the same word having different meaning in different countries and different, I would say, even in group.
Group also.
So that information you can provide, and accordingly we can get the output. And I think since most of the information, that kind of information is publicly available, that technology will go search, but you provide that instruction, that prompt part, that do your in-depth research about the culture and the other social aspect of this country, people, how they live, the language and everything, and then give me this output. Then the tool will understand that what they are supposed to do. It's simple that you have an assistant. You ask the assistant, go buy fish, buy rohu, katla, whatever fish you like, and this size of fish, and then you have this much of money, and don't buy if the rate is above this rate, right? You give clear instruction. Similarly, you give clear instruction to the technology that is called prompt engineering, and you'll get the answer.
Another question which is related to Dr. Venkat sir also, but much more specific, it's about deepfake. Like whenever we do any video, like like our Honorable Director General sir sometimes gives speech, 2 minutes, 1 minute speech. So then there will be a probability to convert, I mean, any of our speech into something else, right? So there, I mean, how we can protect from this? Yeah, it's a very generalistic question, but still, it's a very, I mean, very.
Yeah, it's actually very critical question, and it's a global problem.
Global problem, right?
Yeah, the moment our image and video or
Goes
any
to social
voice,
media also.
yeah, it's out in the market, in public forum, we don't have control.
Yeah.
The only thing is if the country has that policy or not. If the country has policy that is somebody is defaming using the video and all, then you can file your complaint and then they will do the things. But by that time, the damage is already done. So you see, right, there is no need of a police. The need of a police is because there are thieves and notorious people, right? So we have technology, we have cyber security threat. Otherwise, we didn't need any kind of cyber security professional who could help us and protect us, right?
Yes.
So we have to be careful. And the moment you find something that way, you simply complain. Like, okay, this video was, you can say, faked, and this is a fake video. And then you just complain. So that way, the only thing is like keep complaining and then registering that this is a fake video. It can be reduced. But 100% control, I think it may not be possible.
Understood.
Any more questions?
Team members, please come with your questions if you have any.
Hello, sir. I have 2 questions. For statistical software, which AI tool is appropriate for generating commands like Python or SPSS, or which prompt should be appropriate for analyzing the data set actually first? And another one is you are telling about for Microsoft Copilot is appropriate for Excel data set. So whenever I have attached a full Excel worksheet actually in this data set, just for a command or specific portion, I just like to analyze this, just specific part, not full. That time there might be some issues created, like it just happened only few Excel data sheet I will generates, not the full data sheet. So what prompt should be appropriate to generate the full data set? Like there are 1000 data set, it will generate only like 50 data set, not whole. So what prompt should be appropriate, or what AI tool is appropriate for generating the whole data set? So this is my question, sir. Thank you.
Good, important part, especially for those who really either has been using or want to use for data analysis and all.
Is it a paid version or non-paid? I also want to know.
Yeah, I mean, you can, if, as I mentioned, right, the first part is if you are, this is more workaround. Say you want to analyze the data, right? But you don't have paid version.
Yes, sir.
So 2 tools, one is Chat GPT, either you use 4.0 or even the latest one. And free version you can use for some time. I think Perplexity, they're offering for 1 year pro version free of cost. I'm not sure whether that's available to you or not. Just explore it. And that's a full-fledged version, free of cost. And Grok also, Elon Musk's his product actually. So it is also very good tool. Now, you mentioned about Python and SPSS, right?
or any kind of statistical software, how can I
Yes.
generate command through AI?
So SPSS, since it's a tool already that you install on your machine, it can give you the instruction how to deal with the data. But I'll take example of Python, because Python, you can have the code created by the tool, and then you can use the tool and validate in your environment. So the best part is that you are telling a machine that you are a Python expert, right? You're starting something like that. You are a Python expert and has been working on data analysis, like structured data analysis, for a long time. That's one part, that's their description. So the tool will understand, okay, now I have to act as a Python expert. If you don't give that first command, then it will be very difficult for them to see how want to be, because we are using it for multiple purposes, right?
Yeah,
So
like,
now it will use that Python expert hat, that, okay, now I am a Python expert. That one part is clear. The second part is what exactly you want to do. You want to analyze the data, and then you provide the more information you provide in a structured way, the better. Then instead of the data that you have, you can say, can you simulate a data with these columns, right? The randomly distributed, and ensure that you produce 500 records or 1000 records. Okay, if you don't give, sometimes it will only give you 10 records, 20 records, because you did not provide the instruction. So it will not assume everything. If you say big data, then it will not give you big data, but you may that ensure that you provide 500 data records or 1000 records. Now, once you provide all the instruction, at the end, you also ask that what it should not do. So the negative prompt we call. Then you say, should not add any data that is culturally sensitive. Okay. Should not add any empty data if you don't want any data missing in your data set. And at the end, you write that before you create the data, you first confirm that you understood my ask. Now it will give you the output, and you try that today. It will give you that, okay, this is what you are asking for. Should I proceed or not? Then you provide the instruction, yes, proceed. Now then you said that using a Jupyter notebook, you create a full running code that can consume this simulated data and do this kind of a prediction, whatever prediction you are looking for. If you don't know what prediction you are looking for, you can ask, based on this data, what would be the best method that I should follow? So you have to keep talking unless you get your output. It's not going to give you everything in one shot. But if you provide all the instructions in a structured way that I said, and you do just practice one time, it will take only 10 minutes. And I think now it can also run the code. You don't even have to run the code in your Jupyter environment. It can run the code, validate whether the code is working or not. Then you say whether you are getting what you are looking for. But think this way. You are looking for an intelligent assistant. So you have to talk to that intelligent assistant intellectually, provide clear instructions, and make sure that the moment you open a chat, and for different tasks, you open a different chat, not in the same chat you do all the tasks, because then it will confuse that what role I'm playing now, whether I'm a Python engineer, whether I'm a data analyst, whether I'm a data scientist. So you first ensure that that chat box starts with that, okay, today, not today, you are an AI expert, you are a data analytics expert, you are a CEO of this kind of a company, this is what you have to do. And then you provide all the, but do at least a couple of times, and then you should be fine. But when you are dealing with your own data, never upload to Chat GPT, unless and until you are accessing that data in your local environment. If you have access to Copilot, then Copilot is a paid version, and that is safe because you are using in your environment. Then you can open your Excel spreadsheet, and then you ask question. In the same way, the question is basically prompt. The way the prompt you are doing on the Chat GPT, the way you will be doing prompt in the Copilot. Sometimes people are very reluctant. They will just write like 2-3 words. Give me this summary, right? So it's basically abusing a tool. I mean, you have a tool which is intelligent than you, then you have to respect the tool too, right? That, okay, this is what I'm looking for. Please provide the say descriptive analytics of this data set. So it's your intellectual body. So that way, if you start interacting, you will start enjoying actually, and you will learn so many things. So just try and then see how it goes. And if you still have any question later, you can ask.
Thank you, sir.
Any more questions, please? If there are no more questions, we can. I request our Honorable DG sir to make his closing remarks.
Thank you, Dr. Venkat. It was a very interesting talk. In fact, with limited, manpower, with limited time, how with less, how we can deliver more. This is basically about that. It is not only for CIRDAP professionals, but all the countries looking at CIRDAP for rural development, activities. Probably this will be very, very useful, provided we are empowered. So I think this is a first step. Lot of insight, and you made us, sleepless. But what next? Probably 3 things I would like to propose before concluding. Number 1, we have, a group of around 85 experts on various aspects who are associated with CIRDAP. We keep using their services depending on their expertise. So it is an open invitation for you, and it is our privilege. You be part of, CIRDAP experts, and your AI knowledge can be blended with rural development, benefiting entire Asia and Pacific through CIRDAP. So this is first my invitation.
Sir,
and
already is part of our expert group, sir.
Excellent. So welcome to this, CIRDAP family. Number 2, whatever the discussion took place here today, it is also recorded. And with your permission, which is already informed to you also, we will go for a slight editing. And this we would like to place in CIRDAP YouTube channel for the benefit of our stakeholders. Number 3, we are also planning to have some online training programs from CIRDAP. Online training programs, because basically they are at awareness creation level. Number 2, we want to reach 15 countries, and we want to make it cost and time effective without incurring travel cost and attracting the participation of more number of people. So maybe AI for rural development, Asia and Pacific perspective is probably one of the first step. And you have a very good exposure about rural development, but otherwise also from CIRDAP, the people who got, the expectations of our member countries will work very closely. If it is okay for you, we can work for one online international training program on AI for rural development, Asia and Pacific perspective, so that we can also publicize this. Basically, we are looking for 3 types of stakeholders. Number 1, the policy makers at very high level, like, ministers, deputy ministers, secretaries, who make policies and programs for their respective countries. They would like to know, basically for their country, what kind of programs and policies in rural development are very good. So that is one group. second group is our additional secretary, joint secretaries, commissioners, directors, deputy commissioners, collectors, who are involved in implementation of role development programs. Their expectation is something different. When we go with this, role development program, these are all the challenges which are coming in the field. Is there any solution in other country experience? Or within our country, with the help of other department, other information, and the previous examples, can we find some solution? So this is what they are looking for. The third one is, the institutions. We have National Institute of Rural Development. We have local government training academy, Nepal, BIRD in Bangladesh, and NCRD in Pakistan, and Harti in Sri Lanka. They are the institutes which deal with policies, programs, innovations, implementation, impact holistically. So their requirement is something different. So we want to bring all these three people together, where we can handle this program, and we can go for a very good brochure, publicity material to attract the attention of all these three categories. Then this program will give whole a lot of inputs and expectations from member countries, what they want in AI. That will lead to projects. I think that is a bigger vision, but the first step is this online training program. So I think, the next step could be this online training program. I'm sure we will get very encouraging results out of that. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you very much. And I really appreciate everything. And I like that idea that we can start with the online training program. And definitely it's going to percolate and it will bring more opportunities and support. Thank you for having me. You all have a wonderful day.
Thank you, sir. Now I request this Huren Jenner to propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for allowing me for this vote of thanks. So, first of all, my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Sushant Singh, sir, because we all know about AI and already we are using it. But how to use this AI or Chat GPT or Copilot more structurally, that I learned today. Because whenever for that idea creation, for any questions, generalistic question, we always use it for our personal, maybe professional, but sometimes there are always a risk. So today I got to understand that how more structured we have to be for our own sake. And you talked about this machine learning, deep learning, reinforcement learning, especially because it's involved some of the public domain. For an example, like YouTube, Netflix, all those kind of things. So we have to be cautious about those things also. So, sir, thank you so much, sir, for giving us this opportunity to hear you. Maybe in future we will learn more. Just one last request that if you have any any books or any PDF regarding big document regarding this AI learning, not only the office work, in anything, because nowadays we cannot remove ourselves from this AI. We have to be coexist with this AI. So we need to learn more actually, day by day, time by time. So you can share with us. So it's actually for our own knowledge, for our personal life and professional life. And thank you so much, sir, for spending this more than 1 hour and 30 minutes with us. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. On behalf of CIRDAP team, we thank our DG sir for providing this platform to know the AI tools and different and using it for our daily activities. Thank you.
Thank you.